Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub. It is Sunday, June 13th. We're lover boys of pub sports radio, working for the weekend. That's exactly what we're doing. We're working, we're capping, and we're looking to put money in our pockets and yours for you guys tuning in here at Pub Sports Radio, NBA Pub Hub, Sunday, June 13th. Ian Cameron, Conor Mac, Dutch Boy Fresh, and our man Skee Prophet will be with us momentarily as well. We're here to break down the two Sunday NBA playoff games. We've got two good ones, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Game 4. This is the swing game in the series. We're either looking at 2-2 going back to Brooklyn or 3-1 Nets going back to Brooklyn. So a huge game for the Bucks. We'll see if they can get it done. And the Phoenix Suns looking to get those brooms out tonight. Sweep hard. Like if I'm from Canada, they play curling here. Hard, real hard. Sweep. Yeah, that's the Phoenix Suns.
Still don't get
the Denver Nuggets tonight in 4 games straight. We'll see if they can get the job done. But we'll look back first on last night's game. It was the Jazz and the Clippers. And the LA Clippers, look, they backs against the wall mentality, and they played like it, especially in the second half. They pulled away. The Jazz made a little bit of a run there, third quarter. I believe they cut the lead to 9, and then the Clippers pulled away once again and ended up dominating in the fourth quarter and pulling away from the Jazz to get themselves, at least for one game, back into the series. A very good performance by the LA Clippers last night. And what was good to see was Kawhi Leonard shook off a rough start, had a much better second half, made me happy with the over as the best bet on yesterday's show. Kawhi Leonard over 27.5 points. How about the double-double? The little sprinkle on Kawhi to get the double-double at plus 310 also got there. Dutch Boy Fresh absolutely nailed that game in terms of the side. He was on the trifecta with the Clippers. First quarter, first half, full game. They got it done. And really when it's all said and done is their defense finally showed up. You know, we talked about it. They had struggled in transition to get back to guard the three-point shooters of this Utah Jazz team. The perimeter had been absolutely killing this Clipper defense early in the series, but they adjusted. They got better, and you give them credit for that. You look at their defense last night, the Jazz, it was much better, you know, overall. 43% from three, 43% from the field, better, and the Clippers shot the lights out finally. They were due for a good offensive game, and that's exactly what happened. The Clippers 50 of 89, 56% from the field, 53% from three-point range. Again, Kawhi with his 34 points in that game for the double-double. How about Paul George? We got to put away the pandemic P for one game, at least playoff P. Last night he showed up. He was good, 31 points. Let's give him credit. It was one of his best offensive games of the playoffs. You get Nicola Batum chipping in 17 as a bonus. So much good, better all-around effort from the Clippers last night to make it 2-1 now in the series in favor of the Utah Jazz. I told you Skee would be with us, and he is here now. Skee Prophet with us. Skee, what did you think of last night? Jazz Clippers.
So goddamn
time. Jazz and Clippers. Yeah, I gotta lay off to Paul George. I think you kind of nailed it. Clippers, I mean, I thought that they would punch back. I didn't know that they would do it necessarily for the whole game and win by 30 points, but Dutch did. So I'll give some credit to Dutchy there. But hey, like I said, a series doesn't start till you win on the opponent's home floor. So we'll see if the Clippers can do it again, or the Jazz banged up. That's what stands out to me. Just if they're gonna need Conley, they're gonna need Mitchell to be healthy. If not, I think the Clippers can still win the series. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. You got to be worried about these injuries. When are we going to get Mike Conley back? We thought this may be just one game he'd miss, and now it's turned into 2 games. Now it's turned into 3 games. And now you're starting to wondering, is this a more significant injury he's dealing with right now? Dutch, great job on this game last night. I know it made you happy, and it put some cash in your pocket.
Yeah, it was a beautiful thing. Really was. Real quick shout out to the chat. Appreciate y'all holding out for us for the 10 minutes. Eric Chang, I see you. My guy Sweaty Butcher, OG Wham, and then who's that? Justin, say he's smoking on that gelato. I got that GMO in the plane. Get me right where I need to be. But yeah, yesterday was really great. I stayed away from all props, and most of the props I was actually so happy I did at halftime, and I think most of them ended up hitting. I'm glad that Kawhi found his game from my guy Ian, and it was really mainly basic. You mentioned it, Ian. It was on the defense. They came in and was locking them down. That perimeter moving. One thing I don't like a lot is they do double a lot and they leave Ingles and shit. But O'Neal, they were missing some threes that were wide open at times. But the Clippers just had a better intensity. Great game from Batum. He showed up. Like I mentioned yesterday, I wanted Reggie Jackson to give me like 17 or 18. I don't want that motherfucker going for 30. I want Kawhi, Paul George to be getting them numbers, and that's what happened. Reggie Jackson had a smooth 17. Paul George showed up, and Kawhi handled business in the second half. The claw hammered the spider, and that's exactly what we needed. I expect the same thing in Game 4. When we get back to Utah, things will change. This ain't like the other series, in my opinion, and we'll talk about one series today I think will be a little more competitive as well. But I don't want to be biased compared to what we've seen. This is going to be a great series. This most likely will go 7. The Clippers, they're not no punks. They can show up. They got enough talent to take this series. I'm not going to say they're going to beat Utah, but the big thing to me, what I notice is when Gobert goes off the court, they attack Favors. They get layups at will. You get Gobert in foul trouble, and this will be the Clippers series. But we're definitely in for a good series, I believe, and I'm really excited to get started on these 2 games as well.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see if the Clippers can win the next game. And let's not forget, they started out bad against Dallas and then turned that series around. They're trying to do the same here against Utah. Conor Mac, what did you think of last night?
Yeah, with Rudy Gobert, with him not on the floor, he's so good defensively, alters so many shots. The Jazz
the numbers are crazy.
It is. He's got to be on the floor, not getting foul trouble. Jazz didn't shoot it well, and the Clippers just came out on their home floor, played great. They shot it great, like you said. Batum, all these guys, Reggie Jackson, and the bench played well. Not crazy good, but like Beverly, Kennard, man, they all chipped in like 7 apiece. So Clippers took it to them. So I got my ass waxed there. Kawhi got the double-double. O'Neal hit his threes. Bogdanovich missed. But let's get to today. I'm ready. Let's roll.
Yeah, let's get to today. And we got a little
Ian, really quick before we do. I forgot to give a shout out to my boy Pat Bev. I got to send him a thank you letter for that foul, getting the first half over for me.
Oh, right. Yes.
I definitely
was sitting at 109 right before that foul, exactly, with 12 seconds left. That was amazing. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
I was on that as well. I was sweating it, like, God damn, couldn't get a bucket. But Mitchell showed up in that second quarter too. Like, he was hitting all them crazy threes. I don't even think he didn't even score in the first quarter, which he hasn't done that in the longest. So I was like, okay, D Mitch got his, and yeah, Pat Beverly got that little layup and then the foul at the end to get over that. That was lovely. Yeah, shout out to my guy Soldier smoking the purple runs. I ain't with the backwoods, bro, but I'm not hating. But yeah, I fuck with the purple runs. My God.
Not only thank you, Pat Beverly, for fouling them, but thankfully they were in the bonus too at the time. The Utah Jazz as well. So automatically 2 free throws after that foul, which was, as Dutch would say, it was a beautiful thing. All right, next up, we've got Brooklyn and Milwaukee. We got some time today. Usually there's an early game. There's not today. This one doesn't start for a couple hours, 12:30 Pacific. This game starts. Brooklyn, Milwaukee. We've got Brooklyn 2-point road favorites here, 227.5, 228 the total in this one. Look, that was Milwaukee's supposed to be punch him in the mouth spot like the Clippers did last night against Utah, and instead Milwaukee was life and death by the skin of their teeth winning that game the other night, Game 3. They got out to that 20-point lead, and then after that, they let themselves back. They let Brooklyn back into the game because the defense fell off a bit. They started settling for jump shots. They were so aggressive going to the rim early, and then they stopped doing that for some reason, and it really allowed the Nets to get back into that game the other night. We'll see if they keep aggressive, but obviously Brooklyn gets back into the game. They're right in the game the whole way, and in fact, they led with about a minute to go, and then Milwaukee, some weird late game execution in terms of shot selection, in terms of who has the ball by Brooklyn. Otherwise, they could have won Game 3 in Milwaukee the other night. So that's a very, very bad sign, in my opinion, for the Bucks. I don't like that going into this game for them today. Brooklyn has not lost 2 in a row, by the way, in this postseason yet. And you think of the fact that they got mediocre games from all the big guns, and they were still right there with a chance to almost beat Milwaukee in Game 3. I like Brooklyn here. I'm going to go money line on them here, minus 130, minus 135 in that range. I think we have seen enough through 3 games that they crushed Milwaukee in the first 2. Milwaukee's life and death in an absolutely terrific spot to beat them in Game 3. And it's showing to me that I think Brooklyn's just better at this point, and I trust them off a loss here to be better. And I certainly trust even Nash in a rookie head coaching role. Trust him off a loss to make adjustments rather than Budenholzer resting on his laurels in a game they were lucky to win. the other night, in my opinion. So I like Brooklyn here to take game 4 and take a commanding lead in this series. As far as props go, someone mentioned Durant. This feels like a Durant game, a big game for him after what happened in the last game. I wouldn't argue with him over 32.5 points in this game. Certainly from a Milwaukee perspective, Giannis and Chris Middleton were poor, especially Middleton, in the first 2 games in Brooklyn, but got their game back, their offensive game back in the Game 3 victory. So maybe you can go back to Middleton. But definitely when I'm looking at props here in this game, Durant's the main one. Bruce Brown has certainly been an impact player. Can we trust him to be as impactful offensively as he was the last game? We'll have to wait and see. I'm not so sure. I'm going to go with Holiday as well on the Bucks side, over 19.5 points. What I liked from him in the last game is he was taking it to the hole, have that aggressive mindset, be another option to go with Giannis, to go with Middleton. So Drew Holiday is 19.5 in terms of his point total last I checked. And I think he can get to 20 points here in this game. So I like Holiday and Durant props, and I like Brooklyn. And I also like over 227.5. Yeah, it's been 3 unders in this series so far, but irregularly low shooting percentages on both sides. I think we're going to see a little bit of a push back to the mean here today at both of these teams in this game. And this is by far value on the number, 227.5. Remember, the game 1 total was 242. So we're seeing a 15-point tumble in the totals in this series because of 3 straight unders. So doesn't mean it's going to go over. It could stay under. Maybe it's just going to be one of those series, but 227.5, I'm going to take a shot going over the total. Skee, we'll start with you here. What do you like here? Nets and Bucks, game 4.
Yeah, I agree. If I'm looking for points, I'm going to go for Kevin Durant. I think he kind of gets his regardless, whatever the case is in any game. I don't really like what I'm seeing on offense from the Bucks. And I don't like how they closed the game either. I mean, they were up like 20 points and barely snuck out a win. So I think that just kind of tells us that the Nets are a little bit better. And so if I had to play it, I would play the Nets. But something about this game, I don't know, it just seems kind of tricky to me, or fishy, however you want to say. And so I'm not going to have a play. It's a game that I don't like that much. And the total, it's the highest. The last game was the highest or biggest differential as far as like the closing total and what the game actually ended at. Like, that's ridiculous. So I know, yes, they can shoot better, but I just don't like the things I'm seeing from Milwaukee on offense to make it a high scoring game. And the team hasn't been shooting well for the entire series. I don't know if it's going to change in this game. So I lean under for the full game.
By the way, you don't ever blindly bet a trend or an angle. You just don't do that. You got to have other factors that go into it. You got to do your entire handicap of the game. But it is worth keeping in mind, road favorites here in the NBA playoffs, 11-3 against the spread. That's pretty damn good for road favorites. And we just happen to have 2 road favorites today, Brooklyn and Phoenix. So if you buy into that, that's the sides you're looking at here today. Nets and Suns, 11-3 ATS for road favorites in this year's NBA playoffs. Dutch, what do you think here? Game 4, Brooklyn, Milwaukee.
Yeah, shout out to our guy, Eric Chang says, I hit the like button. Have you? That's a very good question, my guy. Take a minute, hit the motherfucking like button, smash that motherfucking like button, just like I did that playing at GMO. Much appreciated. When it comes to this game, now, before I start going off, I just want y'all to know, is he high? Yes, I am high. And I do like the Milwaukee Bucks in this game. I definitely do. I know I'm on the other side of all y'all, but I think this is a Bucks spot. And I know what I said previously about how I feel like this series is probably over. I was expecting James Harden to come back probably game 3 or 4. I mean, it doesn't look like he's even going to come back this series maybe. I'm not saying Brooklyn's going to lose the series, but they're going to lose this game. Now, Brooklyn's not even that good on the road. They're 1-2 on the road this year in the playoffs. There are only 3 games over 500 in the season on the road. So all season long, they don't really even play that good outside of Brooklyn. Personally, I feel like they had a chance. You mentioned it, Ian, that they had that chance to win that game at the end against Milwaukee after being down by 20. I feel like they lost a chance there. They gave Milwaukee, in my opinion, a little bit of confidence. Milwaukee shot 19% from the 3-point line. That's well under their average. They only had 12 assists in this game. And also, now we know Middleton and Giannis had very good games. But between Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, and PJ Tucker, the other 3 starters, they had a combined 12 points. Between that and their bench, they had a combined 18 points. The bench scored 6 points total. I believe we're going to get a better effort from Milwaukee. We're going to see what I've been talking about from the beginning of this series, the lack of defensive interior for Brooklyn. I think we're going to see Milwaukee attack like we did see in the first quarter. I really like Milwaukee first quarter, first half, locking it in. I believe plus, half a point, plus a point first half as well. I like a full game as well, but for official right now, we're locking in first quarter, first half. But Milwaukee will win this game. I'm just thinking about taking the 2 or the money line, to be honest with you. From a props perspective, we're going over 13.5 with Giannis. We know what we're going to get from him. He's going to rebound. He's going to outwork. I'm not mad at the points, but I don't want to count on him in the free throw line. And I definitely don't want that motherfucker shooting no threes. Attack.
Yeah,
Blake Griffin cannot stop you. Claxton, come on, man. The dude's a fucking 180 pounds soaking wet. He can't stop you. So just attack. Chris Middleton, get 25. And Drew Holiday, I don't know about I've been on him a lot. I don't know about the over 20 simply because this motherfucker puts in work on defense. He's not leaving Kyrie. We're going under 28.5 points on Kyrie. And he's only averaging 23 points in the series, has not went over 25 in the 3 games, and he's shooting right around 40% from the field, 10% under his average. I told you, Drew Holiday is going to be shadowing him, and he's not going to get 28 points tonight, under 28.5 on Kyrie Irving. So those are mostly my looks right there. I do like the under 28.5, 228.5. I really like that. I don't see how they get that. I look at Milwaukee winning this game. They're going to have to play some fucking defense. Obviously, I know Brooklyn has a lack of defense, so I do expect there to be some points. But I think just by the margin we're getting, and in these 3 games, it's averaged 200. Now, I know game 3 did go well under, but the game 2 went 210, I believe. And then game 1 was, I believe, 222. Now the last 5 meetings versus these 2 teams has went under. So if we're getting 228.5, I believe it'll be around 215. So that's a clear margin that I think I have to take on the under in this game. Sorry I took too long. I got much on that second game, but I really like this game, and we're gonna fucking fear the deer all night, baby. Let's go Giannis. Let's go Milwaukee, Middleton, and the crew.
Yeah, this I think is it's a Scott Foster game. Good old Scott Foster, it looks like, is refereeing this game here. Brooklyn at Milwaukee today. What a shit show.
No wonder it felt fishy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No wonder.
Hey,
This guy is he thinks the game's about himself. I mean, he's got to do a million replays, a million video reviews. He's he's probably one of the leading refs in terms of technical fouls given and during the course. He can't say a word to the guy, and he's like right away, he's got the tee going. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. We didn't come to pay to watch you, Scott Foster. We came here to watch
Nasty Nate said I should have called out sick today.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, shoot, bro. I mean, they're gonna be right or wrong. Either way, I ain't scared. It is Sunday. And you know what they say, if you're scared, go to church. And I'm not going to motherfucking church, boy. I'm going to the bag. Believe that.
He said just lost 12 viewers with that pick.
Nasty Nate, like in Brooklyn, so he's on my
I'll
side.
see you tomorrow. I'll be here
we'll
tomorrow,
see.
my brother. Will you be? Yeah, man.
You are talking about a home underdog price with Milwaukee for a team that's been very good at home this year. So I will say that. Like, you can make cases, like I say every day, you can make cases for both sides in the playoffs with each game. Your point about Giannis, I got to rail on this a little bit. This is ridiculous. You look at his stats from 3-point range: 0 for 3, 1 for 7, 0 for 2, 0 for 4, 2 for 5, 0 for 3, 1 for 8. Last game, he was 1 for 8 from 3. That's ridiculous. When you're 1 for 8 from 3, you shouldn't be taking 8 3-point shots. You shouldn't be. It's asinine. Do you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning, Giannis, and think, look at the size I am. Let's just hang out by the 3-point line. I don't make any. I'll just jack up a bunch of threes. That's how we're going to get things done. No, take your ass into the paint. Take your ass down to the rim. Make it happen inside. Enough of this bullshit with taking threes. 8 threes is ridiculous when you're only making 1 of them. It's insane. 13%. You're proud of that?
Hey, there's a reason why you're open, right? You always tell that
Yeah.
motherfucker that you play with. There's a reason why you're wide open, bro. He's wide the fuck open out there in 3-point line. He's like, okay, fuck it, I'm shooting. No, keep attacking, please. Just keep attacking.
Yeah. It'd be like someone leaving me wide open in the 3-point line. They know I'd never make one. So it's the same damn thing. So take it inside. I mean, and he settled again for threes in the second quarter of the last game, and that's exactly the time in the game when Brooklyn got back into it. So it's very simple. I don't know how he can't figure it out, and I can, but that's another story. Connor, what do you think here, this one, Brooklyn, Milwaukee?
Yeah, he thinks that just because the defender's way off, he's like, I'll just shoot it, dude. He sucks. Man, that's why the defender's playing way off you. I think both teams shoot it better here today. I would be on the Bucks. I'd be early. They played well last game, 30-11 that first quarter. I don't know if it's that crazy today, but I'd be on the Bucks early here. I got the ticket for the series over 5.5, so I don't really give a shit on the sides. The Bucks win today, that'd be great. We're going 6 games, so that wins my ticket. But I do like the under here. I'm on the under 228.5. I just don't think at 115, that'll get you there. Even if they shoot better, they shot so bad, both teams, 20% for 3, 25 by the Nets. I don't think they score enough points to get up and over the total. And the Bucks got to play better defense at home, so to win this one. So I think that keeps it under the total. If I were to take, I don't love any really props in this game. I think Brook Lopez has got to be bigger. Of course, Middleton, he's got to score, so maybe him over 13.5. I think Durant gets his at over 32.5. But that was it for the props. I really didn't love anything there.
Yeah, I'm keeping it light with props in this game. I like Durant on the Brooklyn side. I like Holiday on the Milwaukee side. That's about it for me. Denver and Phoenix, game 4. I can't believe we're talking about a potential sweep. I'm not shocked we're talking about Phoenix having a chance to move on with one more win. That part I'm not shocked about, but I'm shocked it's been this easy for them. Like they've just completely dominated this series from start to finish. They are now 3-point favorites here on the road in a closeout game, game 4, looking to complete the sweep, 221 the total in this one. This is one of those games, and this is the way I feel about these 3-0 series. Maybe you get a good quarter at the beginning out of the team down 3-0, maybe even a good half like Miami had against Milwaukee in the first round. But after that, the team that's trying to close it out usually wakes up and plays a lot better. And I like Phoenix to win this game anyway, but that's got to be your thinking. Denver maybe early, but then maybe jump on Phoenix in game. I remember doing that in the first round with the Bucks and the Heat. The Bucks were just a little bit lackadaisical in the first half of that game, and then they put the boots to Miami and swept the Heat in the first round. I think you could see that tonight. Phoenix is just better. There's no answers right now for anything they're doing offensively. The backcourt's a mismatch. Chris Paul and Devin Booker against Frank Campazzo and a non-existent Austin Rivers. That's the thing in this series. Austin Rivers was pretty good in the Portland series. He's giving you nothing in this series for the Denver Nuggets. And with that being the case, if the backcourt's a mismatch, Michael Porter, I think, is playing through his injury, but he's not been as effective or as good shooting the ball in this series either. And there's just a big gap in these two teams defensively. Denver's not a great defensive team. Phoenix is, and Phoenix is a whole lot better than Portland. And we're finding that out right now. And I think it's just at the point now where, look, Michael Malone's got no other options. He's got Will Barton back. This hasn't made a difference. He's ripped the team's effort after the game 2 loss. It hasn't made a difference. They were still not good enough, and they still got whipped in game 3. So there's no other well to turn to for Michael Malone, and I don't think there's any well to turn to, magic potion that they can take before this game that's going to magically change the way this series has gone. So I think it's over tonight, to be honest. I like Phoenix money line here. If you want to take Denver early, say first quarter, I don't mind it. I lean that way, but I'm just going to stick with Phoenix money line, which is about -145. Close out this series tonight. Get it done in 4 games. I think they do that. I lean over the total. Props wise, I would stick to the same guys that have been working, right? Chris Paul's been working. DeAndre Ayton's been working, betting these guys from a prop standpoint. And Denver's had no ability defensively to match up against either of these guys. And Devin Booker, keep an eye on him. Maybe that's the guy you go with too, because remember in a closeout game on the road, how good he was. He just said, you know what? We're on the road. We have a chance to close it against the Lakers. I'm carrying us to this series win. Maybe he does that tonight, has that same mindset against Denver. He's the kind of player that could take over a game, looking to close out a series. We saw it in the first round. So Booker, Ayton, Paul, I'm keeping it simple. Those are the guys I would be looking at for Suns props tonight. What do you think here, Skee? Is it over? Phoenix, Denver?
I would say so. I mean, last game, it didn't look like Denver wasn't trying or nothing. I mean, they just weren't as good. So I think the Suns get it done here. If I had to pick the side, that's the one that I would end up on. I agree with your point that you could probably catch them live or take them second half, just because that's when they seem to usually. I mean, we've seen Mike Malone talk about that Denver just hasn't been good in the second half. Like they've struggled that way for a while. They're usually good early in games and not so much in the second half. And the Suns are the opposite. Like in this series, especially, they're winning the second half by 14 points per game. So I agree with what you said there. The total, I think there's going to be points too, but it could be a blowout. And if it turns into a blowout, some of those guys are going to come out in the fourth quarter. Granted, maybe not so much for the Denver side. Maybe they keep them in at home just to show that they're fighting. But I prefer the first half total. On the season, they averaged like 116, 117, something like that. I know the last three, even if you include that first half where Denver was shooting 7% from three, they get to like 107 or like 108 actually is close to the average. And the total is 108.5. So I think that they're going to shoot a lot better than that. It'll be closer to what we saw in the last game and the first game. So I think we're getting a good number. The full game total is 222. We're getting 108.5. I like that to go over. If I had to play the full game, I probably would lean over, but first half is the play.
All right, like in the first half, and the first half came in for Skee with game 3 in this series, the first half over. He's back to that tonight. Yeah, this is tonight. And by the way, thank goodness TNT has this game. Finally, we get away from ESPN. ESPN's had the games the last few days. Back to the real NBA network. TNT tonight for Phoenix and a real pregame show, a real halftime show, a real postgame show. TNT tonight for this one. So Skee like in the first half over. Dutch, what do you like here? Denver, Phoenix.
Yeah, our guy Gerald Martinez said, now if Dutch picks the Nuggets, he is really high. No, man. Hey, I am a mile high, bro, but I still can't do it. I can't lie. I still can't do it. I'm big on Phoenix here. I'm not going to go to the window with the Suns, but you right on it, Ian. You mentioned it, and Skee followed up on it. I do believe you could probably catch Phoenix in a live spot here. Will I be shocked if Denver wins the game? No. I feel like it was going to be a 5. I thought Denver would get 1 at home. But from what I'm seeing, they're leaps. I thought they were definitely I knew they were a better team and we're going to handle them, but damn, they're leaps and bounds better. And I think it was Lance in the chat said, no Murray, no Moss. And that's true. I'm telling you, man, you're missing Jamal Murray against a team like Phoenix. It's not going to happen. Joker's doing all he can. I wouldn't be mad at the over 49.5 points, rebounds, and assists in this. I think you're going to get full effort out of him like we did in game 3. But I'm going to take it light on this one. I'm going DeAndre Ayton double-double. It's actually minus 115. We're getting a better number on it than we did last game. If you can't get that, get over 10.5 rebounds at plus money. I like that as well. I can't remember who in the chat said it, but Booker over 26.5. Oh, it's Luke Murphy. I believe, I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I mean, a blowout is a possibility, but like I mentioned, I believe we get the best effort here from Denver. But definitely lock in DeAndre Ayton double-double minus 115 and looking towards the rebounds as well.
All right, there we go. DeAndre Ayton, double rebounds as well for a Dutch boy fresh with this game. And Jacksonville's how dare you, Ian, crapping on ESPN NBA coverage. They're just such an easy target. That's how I crap on them so much. They are. What do you think here, Conor Mac? Game 4, Phoenix, Denver.
Yeah, if the Nuggets got to bring it, it's got to be early, I think. I'd be on them early and look at Suns in game instead of maybe laying -3 full game. This total, it stayed under every time. I think it might go over tonight, though. The Nuggets got to score a little bit more than right around 100 points. The Suns' D's just been so good. They've been so much better than them there. I think we might get over the 221.5 here. I like the Joker, points, rebounds, assists. I like, over 29.5. He gets that tonight. He's got to do everything he can. And I like the Ayton props for sure, his points and rebounds. I also think Payne over 1.5 threes at plus 140. I'm going to play that too. Hopefully you can hit a couple tonight.
All right, good stuff indeed. And yes, Chris Paul trying to get to the conference finals. And I think you're right. The first conference finals, I think it might be for him. Holy shit. Unbelievable that it's been this long. But he's got that chance. One more win, and he will get there with the Phoenix Suns. And we'll see if they can close it out in 4 straight tonight. All right, that is the Sunday NBA playoff games for today. Dutch, Skee, and Connor and I breaking them down. We will get to best bets. We'll get to Dutch's freshest look in just a second as well. But first, we'll pause for some messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101.
them balls.
All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, check them out. Great food, great drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Southtown 101 in San Antonio. We've got Manscaped promo code Pub Sports and featuring the all-new Lawnmower 4.0, 20% off your purchase using promo code Pub Sports. Check them out. And mybookie.ag promo code Pub Sports. NHL, NBA playoffs, Major League Baseball daily, U.S. Open golf. The third major at Torrey Pines starts this week. Football is only 2 months away. It is a great time of year to start up an account with mybookie.ag. Bitcoin is an accepted currency for your deposit. So check out mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. I misspoke. This would not be Chris Paul's first conference finals. He was in the conference finals a few years ago.
Rockets
against Golden State in 2018. I just saw that now. So, but still, if you think about it, 12 years in the playoffs, only been to the conference finals or beyond once. So it's been few and far between, but he's got that shot to take his team, Phoenix, to the conference finals and for him to get there for a second time in his career. All right, best bets for this Sunday NBA slate. Starting with you, Skee, what do you like for best bet today?
Yeah, I'll go to the game we just talked about. I like that first half number. First half over 108.5. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
All right, liking it there. Over 108.5. Best bet, Skee profit for today. Dutch, freshest look. What do you got?
Yeah, man. Freshest look. We're going to Milwaukee. We're going with the Greek motherfucking Freak. Over 13.5 rebounds. Load up on that feta because we're getting the cheese, boys. Greek Freak gonna eat all day, early and often.
I like that line. Holy shit, the Greek reference, the feta cheese reference. And as someone that's got a mother from the Greek Macedonian side of things, a little hybrid of both, I've had my share of feta cheese and I've seen my share of feta cheese put out on the table in my lifetime.
I always tell them, add the
and olives,
hero.
right? Feta cheese and olives. That's the Greek thing.
Yeah, man.
I can't stand olives, though. Oh,
I don't eat the olives. I load up on the feta cheese, though, all day. All right,
yeah, it's good. Salty as fuck, but
tasty, but I do, it's good, man.
It is good. Tasty, though. That was a great line. But so Yanni, over 13.5. That's how they call him. That's how the Greeks would call him. Like his mom and dad, they don't say Giannis. They call him Yanni. Yanni.
Yeah, that's funny because that's where I go. My Greek spot is called Yanni's.
That's right.
Man.
That's what
Shout
they call
out to
him.
Yanni's Greek Grill. Get that chicken gyro and load up on the feta with the grilled onion. Yeah, man.
Yanni, get down here. Stop shooting threes. Get to the rim.
I'm gonna take Skee there. I'm gonna take Skee there, and then he's gonna give me a shot next time. Watch out now.
Yeah, and getting rebounds too. Giannis Antetokounmpo, over 13.5 rebounds for freshest look. Yeah. Hopefully, just get in the paint today. That's all we
attack.
Yeah, exactly. Conor Mac, best bet. What do you like?
Man, I like the Bucks. Nets under 228.5, but I'm going to go with the Joker, just over 29.5 points. He gets over 30 tonight, and he's got to. Whatever, he's got to get everything tonight. So he gets over 30 tonight, over 29.5.
All right, there we go. Over 29.5 for Joker. A player prop best bet for Conor Mac. My best bet is going to be Phoenix money line. Keeping it simple. Phoenix money line minus 145 against Denver. They have just proven to be too good, too dominant. No answers for Denver. You got Michael Porter struggling, which has been killing them, in my opinion, because they're not getting much from Rivers. Campazzo is not matching up at all with Chris Paul. It's just mismatches all over the floor. And again, in a game where they were expected to give max effort, I think they did, as Skee said, give max effort the other night. They just can't play well against this team. That's the way it is right now. I think Phoenix gets the job done. I'll just go with the money line instead of the -3, which is minus 145. Phoenix Suns money line against the Denver Nuggets. That'll be my best bet for this Sunday NBA playoff slate. And that'll wrap up this edition of the NBA Pub Hub. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Gerald Martinez, Zoe, Brian Watson, The Hook, Trotwam, Ryan Dow, Eric Chang, go on down. Gerald Martinez, Olu, thanks for joining us. Bill McDonald, Luke Murphy, Lance LaRose, Abel Alvarez, Harold Williams, Christian Rivas, Christian Woods, Ray Charles, everyone, that Jay Cash, everybody that joined us. Prince of the City, good to see him in the chat as well. Nasty Nate, James McGinnis, Soldier, everyone, Tony B, everybody in the chat, thanks for joining us. Billy Brisbane, we appreciate it. Everybody in the chat, thanks for joining us on this Sunday. 180 live viewers, we appreciate it. We will be back tomorrow on Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, once again for the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. For Conor Mac, Skee Prophet, and Dutch Boy Fresh, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we'll see you again tomorrow on Monday for the NBA Pub Hub. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, salute to the chat, the real ones. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, send this video to your friends and fam. We're going in. We're coming out with the motherfucking bag. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest.
We be pumping!